Sense of it, I can point you to other videos and other links if you want to do it. It's a European weave. It's just the way you're making the rings is not European. The Europeans like to rivet them. So there are some Japanese examples of riveted mail, but by and large, this is far more common, butted. Now, butted is never as strong as riveted mail. You know, it's a caveat. If you're making historical Japanese mail, it's not going to be as strong as the European stuff, but it is very maneuverable. So you're going to need a lot of rings for this stuff. This one, I'd say 3/16 of an inch air diameter to about 1/4 of an inch diameter. Larger than that is going to be a little bit awkward, but I think I have seen it in a few examples. So how it works, you want to get together 4 closed rings, 1 open ring. You grab this open ring, drop the 4 closed rings onto it. Boy, I am clumsy today. There we go. There we go. Grab it with 1 pair of pliers on one side. This is why you need 2 for these. Grab it with the other. Close it. Try not to warp the rings if you can. And when you're closing all of these, you'll need to check for warps. The more warps and weird things you have in it, the worse your pattern is. It starts getting little irregularities. But get closed as best you can. Try and get butted as strong as you can. See, there we go. Grab it there. Squeeze a little. Not too tight. Don't want to ruin your work. And then lay it out like this. Now I'll show you the next tricky part. I'm going to make the next one. Notice how the middle one is facing the opposite direction of these ones, and these ones overlap. So get your next 4 closed rings and your next open ring. Close her up. There we go. Now notice how these are going in the same direction. The next part, which is a little bit tricky, is these are going to overlap. You're going to have another ring that goes through this one, this next ring here, this one, and this one. You have to make sure these stay on top of these, and you have to maintain this pattern. Now you'll notice it'll create a row of these ones going down the middle and these ones going this way. Eventually what this creates is a pattern like this. You'll make a second row of these, and you're going to attach them the exact same way you're attaching these, side by side, where you have 1 ring that goes through 4, goes through 4, goes through 4. Eventually, work your way up. You're going to get to a pattern like this. And Scotty, if you can zoom in real close. It's a repeating pattern, and the way to think of it is 1 row, of course, is going to create these 3. But it's all 1 row is made up of 3 rows. So this is technically 2 rows of 3 here, with a middle row connecting the 2 sections. And so you just keep weaving it out, you make whole large sections. Not much else to say on that. Just keep your butting good on these. If anything's not clear in the video, of course, feel free to let me know. This is the kind of armor that Shinobi would have used in the Edo period and the late Sengoku period if they're using armor on an infiltration mission. They're obviously not going to be wearing the heavy-duty Yoroi battle armor. That stuff's just, unrealistic. It's made for a battle, not, for trying to move in, doing stuff that's going to require a lot of maneuverability. Very common in the Edo period for samurai, even lower classes, to wear chainmail underneath their everyday clothing. A lot of the chainmail suits, and I'll actually post some pictures up in the comments, were designed to be fit underneath everyday clothing. There are examples of this actually being put in between layers of clothing. Natori and his students, by and large, will have most likely worn this on an everyday basis. Maybe not every day, but days where they felt like they want some extra protection but not have it be noticeable. This is what they will have worn. You can make it also more of a battle armor-like thing that's made solely out of chainmail. There's other Japanese forms of light armor that also utilize chainmail. There's tatami do, which, like tatami mats, it's very flexible. What it is the fabric backing, and it's made with metal plates that are linked together with kusari like this. Very strong, considering, but also very light. Not as strong as Yoroi plate armor, but it's good stuff. That will have been seen being used by shinobi quite a bit in the Sengoku period. Also by Ashigaru. That was the standard Ashigaru armor, was tatami do. Another one, which is based off of another Western technology, is kiko, which is usually on a machiwa, which is kind of a, how do I describe it? It's a padded vest that would be worn under armor a lot. What it does is uses hexagonal plates that are laced into the armor and pattern, where the hexagons are all fitting into each other, and that would have been something that would have been used quite a bit by them or have access to. But yeah, this is the stuff. If you want to make what would be the quote-unquote shinobi armor, if they weren't wearing normal everyday clothing for a mission, if they're actually infiltrating in a more militaristic sense, this is the armor they would have guaranteed used. This, or kiko, or tatami. There's not a whole lot of other options. I hope you guys like the video. Once again, if things aren't clear, my accent's a little bit off sometimes, so post in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions, and this will give you guys a good start. A link I highly recommend is sengokudaimyo.com. It was put together by one of the late historians of Japanese history, Anthony Bryant. Too bad he passed away. But he made a really great thing on here called the Nihon Katsu Seisakuben, which is all about making Japanese armor. It has a whole bunch on making the mail, has some tips that I would recommend on there that I might not have covered. Shows all the different patterns, how to make the historical fabrics. If you want to make yourself some armor like Natori would have used, this has everything you need. Anyways, thanks for having me, Natori Hub. Really honored to be a part of this. I'll catch you guys later on the forums.